What is up, everybody? It is your boy Brian, and this is the Brian News Alert. By the way, happy Tuesday, February 15th, the day after Valentine's. Happy late Valentine's Day, and happy late Super Bowl day. Man, what a halftime show. I just want to put it out there. What a fun Super Bowl this weekend. Hope you guys all enjoyed that. I had a fun time watching the halftime show. And not mad that the Rams won, so I just want to put that there. But we have some amazing breaking news. Let's get right into it. Cody Rhodes is leaving AEW and could possibly be going back to WWE on a contract. Now, how is this working out? Well, Tony Khan put out a tweet about, I want to say about 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. my time, put out a thing and said, we're thanking Cody Rhodes for his commitment and everything, and saying basically like this whole like Cody's not resigning. He let his contract run out, so now Cody Rhodes is the free agent. We were wondering if the AEW was going to sign him to a contract, but Cody wanted big money. Cody wanted a big money guaranteed contract, and AEW's like, we can't do that. So with that being said, Cody Rhodes said, you know what? I respect everyone. I respect everyone's roster. I'm glad I was able to wrestle with everyone, but it's time for me to move on. And his wife as well, forgot to put in the title, his wife as well is also leaving. So both of them are now leaving AEW and possibly going to WWE once again. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, why would Cody Rhodes go back? Cody Rhodes had a bad venture in WWE at the end of his contract, but had a great start. True. But maybe, and this might be a possible rumor that I think could happen, he might have scored a sweet creative deal and had a lot more freedom with his character from Vince. Now, I don't know if this is true, but Cody is but he is with officials right now, as we speak, in negotiations to go back to the WWE on a big money contract deal. How do I feel about this? I'm so conflicted. But I'm happy for Cody. Cody's done so much for us on AEW. He did so much for us. He's done so many great matches. Him and Sammy Guevara had a banger. Him and his brother, him and Jericho, the list goes on. And I honestly thought Jericho was going to be the first one to jump over, because Jericho has been a loyal WWE guy for so many years, but not even Jericho jumped over. I was very surprised that Cody, one of the creators of AEW, other than Tony Khan, he jumps over. Yeah, crazy in itself. And Brandy, who did a great job with the women's division and the operator with Leva Bates, which now I believe Leva Bates is getting the job, which good for her. Also, great work for her. I kind of want to see more in-ring. Maybe she goes back to Performance Center. Maybe gets her wrestling better, because I think Brandy Rose can be a solid, competent wrestler. But she just doesn't have the time and knowledge to have that ability. So maybe, if you put her in a decent run, she could be okay. I mean, it's a decent match. Like, her and Bianca Belair, not a terrible match. Her and Rhea Ripley, not an awful match. Her and Bliss, also not awful. So there's different options for Brandy Rose if she does want to go back into women's wrestling. But she can also just focus on Cody Rhodes, because, of course, her manager skills with Cody Rhodes are like this. Like, they're super tight together. So that's why I'm so for not only WWE that he wants, and wherever Cody Rhodes at it from a different standpoint. I look at a standpoint of where he helps the younger talent, maybe the Malachi Black feud that went mostly focused on him. And Malachi's still on a great record right now. Him and Brody King are killing the tag division right now. So Malachi's not gotten hurt after the Cody loss, which is always a great thing. So Cody's loss didn't hurt Malachi. So that's good to know. And Malachi beat him twice. So, Cody gave him some leverage. So yes, there's some negatives for Cody not getting his own spotlight. There's some positives for Cody of, giving back and letting people, kind of thing. And I understand this whole comparison, him being the John Cena or the Roman Reigns, which that's not who Cody Rhodes is. Cody Rhodes is a guy that just wants a spotlight. He wants a little more money. He wants that big paper. And he wants to go back to a place that maybe he wants to retrace his steps. Maybe he wants to end his WWE venture on a better note, because Cody Rhodes' adventure did not end in the right note. He ended on a Stardust gimmick that didn't quite work out. But when he went back as himself, he felt in a better place. Like, he was able to be himself. Kind of like how Dustin was when he was in WCW. He was himself. So, that's why this deal is insane if this deal does go down. Now, we will break the news if the deal does either happen today or the next couple of weeks, because they are still negotiating contract deals to get it done. But I just have this suspicious feeling they're going to get it done either today or tomorrow. And we'll probably be seeing it Cody Rhodes in a big feud going into WrestleMania. A Raw return, that could also be possible. Could see that. But regardless what they do with him, I wish him and Brandy nothing but the best. If he goes to WWE, I actually might watch WWE a little bit more, because I actually am intrigued what they would do with a brand new Cody Rhodes, reformed from the ground up. How they've been doing him. I mean, him and Kevin Owens don't sound bad. Him and Rollins don't sound bad. Him and Edge don't sound bad. The list goes on, because I think Cody can hang. Like, back in the day, I feel like Cody wasn't been able to hang with these guys. But since he's been in AEW, he's been able to get a better promo skill, a better delivery. I think him against Edge is cool. Him versus him and Kevin Owens is cool. Him and this, like, the list goes on and on. So many names you could do. So many names. And Cody's got a lot of friends there, so I don't blame Cody Rhodes going back to his old roots, even though he did talk a lot of shit. But I think WWE will bury under the barrel and let Cody just be Cody. I think Cody's going to finally get that creative freedom that he wanted. So, we'll see what happens, but if WWE gets Cody Rhodes, is the big signing. Now, usually, Fightful is very good with their announcement of Cody Rhodes going to WWE. We do not know a deal. We do not know anything. All we know is that they're in talks. And talks can usually fall out, but I think this deal is just too good to be true. I think Cody is going back to WWE. I've heard so many good things about talks. Yeah, I would not be surprised if Cody and Brandy do go back to WWE. Brandy is the manager. Cody is the husband, going in and battling with the WWE superstars. If they give him all the freedom, hey, good for him. Because Cody has proven to me that he can do stuff and help out, but he has to have freedom for it to work. And plus, let me know, what theme song do you guys want him to come back as? Me personally, if we're talking from a WWE standpoint, Dashing theme song would be perfect. Him bringing the Dashing gimmick would be kind of cool. Have his wife involved, be kind of interesting. If you want to go with his normal downset theme that he has in AEW, which AEW does not own the theme, then that's okay as well, because his theme is really good. But Dashing fits WWE more, in my opinion. So, I think that's a good way to do it, you know? So, in that regard, yeah, I'll allow it, you know, in my eyes, you know? Okay, so that's the Cody news out of the way. That was the big news. That was the big breaking news that I wanted to talk about. Now, on to some smaller stories, but yet big news. So, let me pull up my title. I put it on my list of things I want to talk about. Oh, yes. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, why am I bringing this name up in 2022? Let me explain. Stone Cold Steve Austin is my favorite legend in WWE history. He was the badass redneck that didn't give a shit about anyone and just kicked ass. He would stub a mud hole and walk it dry. Well, apparently there's a rumor to boost up WrestleMania sales. They want to bring Stone Cold Steve Austin at 58 years old in a match against Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens uses the stunner. So they want to kind of do a stunner versus stunner match at WrestleMania. Now, how do I feel about this? I said it time and time again. Age is just a number. Look at guys like Sting. Look at guys like Edge. Look at guys like Christian. The list goes on. They're in their mid-40s, almost 50s, and they're still competing at a high level. If Stone Cold can get into in-ring work shape and not look out of shape like, say, Goldberg or something, I don't mind Stone Cold coming back for this one match. Because why not? I mean, I know a lot of people are like, it's kind of a desperate move. In reality, yeah, it's a desperate move, I think. I think it is a little desperate. But, I mean, might as well do Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. Why not just do it? Go for it. Especially if let's say Owens wins it, right? It'd be the big win for his career. Owens will not only be able to use the stunner from now on, because he beat the master of the stunner, aka Stone Cold, he'll be able to get the pass of the torch from Mr. Stone Cold. So it'd be a nice passing of the torch, if done right, and in the right setting. And while, I feel like Stone Cold's ending with The Rock was like a perfect way to end it and don't mess with it, this one I don't really mind. And plus, WrestleMania is not looking too hot, if I'm going to be honest. Like, if you look at the card, nothing really interests me. I guess maybe the Johnny Knoxville match, because I just want to see how funny that's going to be. But other than those little matches, nothing really catches my eye as like, ooh, I'm looking forward to that. Maybe except whatever Roman does, but I'm also scared that if Brock wins the title, we're going to get title versus title, and it's not going to change anything. That's my one worry with the whole Brock-Roman thing. But other than that, I mean, I'd be interested to see Stone Cold get back in the ring. Yeah, he's 58, but I mean, if he can move still, and, train, and get good shape, I'm down for it. Plus, even WWE bought a ring to his ranch to train. So if Stone Cold wants to try a couple bumps, it works out. I mean, hell, if they can't get him for bumps, at least try to get him for an appearance. Let's say, Kevin Owens is shitting on the city of Texas. He gets a bunch of boos. Out comes Stone Cold. Huge crowd reaction. Stunner. Boom. You can even do that and I'd be okay with it. Because anytime Stone Cold is out there doing his thing, I'm a happy camper. Because Stone Cold is my favorite superstar of all time, legend-wise. He's a god. He's a god. And if anybody shits on Stone Cold, you're smoking. Stone Cold's all-time great. So, Stone Cold comes back, I ain't too mad about it. And also, we also have, just want to give a huge ticket update for people that want to go to AEW shows. They just announced their next few shows. In South Beach, Texas, the home of Keith Lee, they're going to have a Rampage and a Battle of the Belts. So, tickets are out in a few days. Then my show in Long Island, a beautiful Long Island, New York, aka the beautiful Long Island, is having the Owen Hart Cup start, which I'm very looking forward to. And they're having AEW Dynamite and Rampage. So I'm going to try to push to try to go to that show. I don't know if I'll get the green light, but I would love to go to that show. I'm already talking to my parents and, in the conversations, I'm going to talk to my parents, see what they tell me, and I'll try to go. I'll buy the tickets, whatever I got to do. So I'll definitely try to go, because it's probably the only other time in a long time they're coming to New York. So I got to take advantage of it, got to do it now. And Long Island's not too far from me, so it ain't too bad of a drive. And the UBS Center's only an hour away, so it's not even that far. It's right outside the Nassau Coliseum, right outside. So there's that. Then, of course, there's the couple ratings, and then I'll get to the final news story. Couple ratings revealed: Triple H and Bret Hart, Elias, Trish Stratus. And there's a couple of the names that were also revealed this week for WWE ratings, because in actually a few hours, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, there's going to be a ratings show that has a game show, a gameplay between Sasha Banks and Bayley, and a game, just a ratings roster with interviews telling them your rating with Ronnie 2K. So they are showing more ratings, and, kind of makes sense, because I also found out a really interesting rumor, which kind of makes sense if this is true. They can't show a full ratings review or roster review is because of the released superstars that are in the game. Not that they're saying, oh, you gotta find out who's in it. No, it's more of, oh yeah, there's a lot of released guys. We can't have that because they're not with us. So let's not mess up that weird chemistry. That's why they want to do a ratings reveal instead of a roster reveal. But it's mostly most of the roster guys getting revealed. New guys that we don't know about. So I hope the show's not a waste of time. I hope the show is focused on ratings and showing stars that are in the game, because we want to know more superstars, because we're worried about the roster, and we're interested to see how many people, how many legends, how many this, how many that are going to make the cut. So that 4 p.m. show is going to be really important. And I mean, it's hosted by Austin Creed, which Austin Creed's an awesome dude. So not a better person host I would have picked. So definitely good there. And finally, I just want to give a shout out to all of my boys, Frost, Mac, Robert, Ethan, Xander, Lonzo, Dave, Manny. The list goes on. I want to thank all of them for the awesome opportunities they've given me. I want to thank Kevin and Mind of Nerds, aka Tyler, for giving me the green light to go see Batman with them. I want to thank my cousin Mateo. Love you, brother. I want to wish happy birthday to my big cousin Lily. Love her to death. Happy birthday, Lily, and happy Valentine's Day to her. I want to thank Mateo because he's coming down. We're going to go see a movie this weekend. And I want to thank my family, my grandma, my mom, my dad, for all the opportunities they've given me. And it's been a great time. That's going to do it. Thank you guys for joining me for the Brian News Alert. Brian, signing off. Good night.